Amazon runs thousands of speed test periods, so they know a thing or two about optimizing conversions. And one thing that makes Amazon listings different from traditional websites is their product images, the infographics. Brands that are selling on Amazon don't have much room to optimize their listings compared to on a Shopify store. That's why they leverage the image box. And you can do the same for your website. And I know what you're thinking, yeah, but I couldn't do the same, that would hurt my branding. Well, if your brand is Nike, Apple, or Chanel, maybe. But otherwise, if you've not optimized your image box, you are sitting on extra profit. And here's why. The image box is the first thing that people see when they land on a product page. Also, more than 80% of visitors will not scroll your entire product page. So they might not understand your value proposition, your social proof, your guarantees, your educational sections, etc. And from what I've observed, analyzing 7 clients' heat maps on Hotjar and Microsoft Clarity, the image box gets at least 60% of attentions and clicks. This is why in the CRO industry, everyone talks about optimizing the above the fold. And of course, the image box is the biggest element in your above the fold section on your product page. Yet, most DTC brands waste this space with product shots from different angles, thinking that will do the job. Like this brand, for example, Supersmile. On their product page, they only have 3 images, and it's literally just a picture of the toothpaste and a picture of the box. So this doesn't add any value. If your brand is, for example, fashion or jewelry, you want to show as many images as possible to show different angles, the materials, etc., like the features of your product. But if you have a product like a toothpaste, then the entire image box is using like 50 or 70% of your above the fold section for literally nothing, because you're just showing the product as is. So in this presentation, I'll show you how to not waste this precious real estate, and I'll take Supersmile as an example of what can be done with the infographics. I'll show you how you can leverage your image box to boost your revenue per visitor so you can get results like this in your next A/B test. My name is Andy Cost, and I help DTC brands convert better with online control experiments. Why do infographics increase conversions? Because those types of visual are a great way to move people from an awareness stage to another, to address their concerns, anxieties, and to establish authority and social proof. Shoppers don't like reading walls of text, and studies show that people process visuals 60,000 times faster than text. So when visitors land on your product page, a great infographic grabs the attention and drives purchase decisions. If you look at Amazon listings, you'll notice that each image have a very specific role. One is showing a client review, another shows the product's features, etc. Each infographic is used very strategically, both in terms of content and in terms of positioning in the carousel. In this first part of the presentation, I will talk about content, the different types of infographics that you can use for your brand, and make sure to stick until the end, because I will then reveal in which order you should showcase the different infographics and psychological reason why it must be done a certain way to convert. We can use infographics for a variety of reasons: offer, benefits, features, review, press mention, etc. And really anything that is related to your industry. So for example, for clothing industry can be sizing charts, care instructions, etc. I will quickly show you some examples for each of the categories that I just mentioned, and you can then access the Figma file for free. I'll put the link in the description so you can use it for inspiration for your own brand. First, you can use infographics to showcase a very specific offer. An infographic with the offer is very powerful because it's a great way to trigger fear of missing out and motivate action. By visually showing special deals, exclusive bundles, or limited time perks, you can create a sense of urgency and excitement. FOMO drives customers to act because they do not want to miss out on a great opportunity. Next, we have benefits and use cases, and this type of infographic is also very powerful because it anchors your product as the solution to a specific problem or need that your website visitors may have. When a customer sees the way your product can fit into their lives, it sets a frame of reference that highlights its value right from the start. Now that we have established the benefits, you need to use features infographic to justify the benefits. So it caters to the information bias, which is the tendency for people to seek more data, even if it's not essential to the decision. By presenting clear, concise technical details like material quality, unique functionalities, you will satisfy their desire for knowledge without overwhelming them. So it's about giving enough to reinforce confidence in the product. Next, we've got reviews infographics, and it's one of the most effective ways to build trust with visitors. So you can either highlight real customers' testimonials or ratings directly in your infographics. And this gives potential buyers confidence by showing that other people are already happy with your product. Press mention, it's also a great way to build trust, but also to leverage the authority bias. Because when you showcase that your product has been featured or endorsed by, a celebrity or trusted publication or industry leaders, then it automatically elevates your brand's credibility. For example, if you had a featured in Vogue badge, that can create an instant sense of legitimacy and trustworthiness. Next, we've got comparison infographics, and this is a great way to say my brand is better than the other guys. It uses the contrast effect to make your product stand out. So you literally just place your product side by side with competitors, or you can just say other brands, and it helps emphasize where you excel, whether it's quality, price, features, and this visual contrast help customers perceive your product as the better option without needing to dig through text. Here, for example, AG1 is saying that multivitamins have this and that, probiotics have this and that, and greens have this and that, and we basically have all of that plus this and that. This one from New York Cover is also excellent in my opinion. It's a great way to say we're cheaper, we're better, we have a guarantee, and our equipment is quiet compared to the competitors that are super loud. Next, USPs. So your unique selling points rely on the distinctiveness bias, where basically customers are drawn to what makes your brand or your product different or memorable. So you can highlight key attributes like made in the USA, zero sugar, 100,000 plus happy customers, stuff like that to make sure that your brand stands out in their mind as the evident choice. Next, we've got statistics infographics, and this is so underused in the e-com space. AG1 is one of the brands that, in my opinion, is doing it incredibly well. Statistics leverage the authority bias by using credible data-backed, sometimes scientific insights to reinforce the importance and value of your product. So those numbers aren't just informative, they give customers a compelling reason to trust your product and its impact. Next, we've got guides or how-to infographics, and this helps satisfy the clarity bias by basically making things that look complicated actually simple. And so when customers see step-by-step instructions or care guides, it reduces the friction in the buying process and make them feel more confident about their purchase. For example, if you have a clothing brand, it can be starting tips. Next, we've got transformation. That's where you show the before and after. So obviously this is more used by the cosmetic and skincare industry, but you can apply it for pretty much any industry. You just have to be smart on how you're doing it. What you want to make sure is that it's actually showing a tangible impact of your product. Next, we've got guarantees, and no need to explain too much what it is. It's quite self-explanatory, but you can use guarantee and certification, and those tap into the risk aversion bias, which is the customer natural tendency to avoid uncertainty. So if you showcase 30-day money-back guarantee, for example, that helps eliminate doubts and encourage customer to take the leap. So to sum up this first part of the presentation, I just want to say that the key is to choose the infographic types that address your customers' biggest questions and objections. Do not overload your image box with, all of those infographics. Just pick the ones that are the most impactful for your audience and brand. By the way, if you want to learn more about cognitive bias, which is basically driving your customer's psychology, I encourage you to check this codex visual. Let's now use a real example. So we'll use the brand Supersmile because we already talked a little bit about it before. So here is their current image box. As you can see, it's only product shots with blank background. And we could use the space to showcase the offer, the benefits, the features, reviews, press mention, unique selling points, etc. You get it. Here's what I came up with on Canva. So you see, very simply, just organizing elements next to each other. Very, very easy. Now that we have those optimized infographics, the question is, in which order should we organize them in the carousel in the image box? I found a framework in this book. It's a very good book. I recommend you read it. It's literally written by the pioneers of online SEO. It's called Making Websites Win by Carl Blanks and Ben Jason. And the frameworks go like this. Would you buy this product? Probably not, for one of the following reasons. 1, you don't know what it does. 2, you know what it does, but you don't know why you need one. 3, you aren't convinced it will do what it claims to do. 4, you don't know whether it's compatible with your existing technology. 5, you think it's too expensive. 6, you don't trust the company, you've never heard of them before. 7, you're going to think about it. And then on the next page, it goes on with, for each objection, you need to display a clear counter objection. So if visitors don't know what it does, then explain what it does, etc., etc. You have everything on the screen now. So the idea now is that we will use this to actually organize the different infographics in a very smart way. So the solution that I came up with to organize the infographic on your product image box is actually to answer those 7 questions for your brand, and every time an answer is needed, then you need an infographic. And this is how you tailor the order of the carousel to your specific brand and your specific product. And each brand will have a different infographic based on which question they need to answer. Next thing I'm going to do is copy this section, paste it here, and what we're going to do is actually organize those 8 infographics in the order following the framework that I just introduced to you. So I'm just gonna make those infographics slightly smaller, and we are going to answer the first question, which is, if visitors don't know what it does, then explain what it does. Here it is quite clear that we have a toothpaste, right? But this could be a toothpaste that is used to just clean your teeth, just like any other toothpaste, or it could be to freshen your breath. But this specific toothpaste is actually a whitening toothpaste. So we need something that clearly states that it's a whitening toothpaste. And what best than this infographic here, saying clinically proven teeth whitening toothpaste. So this one is going to be the first one. Then we have the second question, which is, if visitors know what it does, now we know that it's a teeth whitening toothpaste, but they don't know why they would need one, then explain the benefits. Here it's quite evident. The benefit is to have white teeth, right? So we've got a clear transformation visual here, so we can use this one right after the first one. And I mean, even this one could do it because we can see the left and the right side. But here is just like to tell people what it does. And here it is to say, this is why you need one, because your teeth might actually look like this. Then the next question is, if visitors aren't convinced that will do what it claims to do, then add proof. And here we have very strong proof because there is 40 years of innovation from Dr. Smigel. So we're going to use this one, and we could even reinforce it with the feature section. We are using Carprox formula, proprietary formula, blah, 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 blah. Plus we have fluoride, plus we have non-NGMO, etc. So this is justifying why you need this one and why this is the right product to do what it claims to do. Then we have, if visitors don't know whether it's compatible with your existing technology, then explain the compatibility details. That one is not really applicable for a toothpaste. I mean, you're probably already using a classic toothpaste. Maybe we could do something, but I think we'll just skip the question. Next one is, if visitors think it's too expensive, then justify the price. How are we going to justify the price? Well, we've got this here. It's made in the USA, lab tested, dentist approved, and vegan and cruelty free. So this is the justification of the price. We are going to put this right here. That's the unique selling proposition. Then, if visitors don't trust the company, then show evidence that the company is trustworthy. And here, easy, we have the press mention, right? We have a testimonial from Kristen Bell, and we have been seen on Vogue, Cosmopolitan, Men's Health, etc. And we could also reinforce with this review. This one we can either keep it for the end or we could use it here. There we go. Okay, I'll put it here. Let's see. And the last question is, if visitors are going to think about it, then provide reasons to act promptly. And that's where you introduce your offer. Maybe my offer here is not like the most enticing, but it could be like buy two, get one free for Valentine's Day that is coming in a few weeks. That could be, you know, a way to introduce some fear of missing out. So this one can go here, and this review we could either put it at the end to reinforce the trust, or we could put it just before the offer. The two can work. So this is how, if I were in charge of CRO for Supersmile, this is what I would do. I would first present the product, then tell what it does, show why you need one, show why it's actually working. It's backed by 40 years of innovation. And I think we could also use some statistics here. That would work well. Then we explain the features of the product. Then we explain why it's expensive, because it's made in the USA, it's lab tested, etc. Like all the USPs. And also like this is the best protection you can give to your teeth. Then we, if you don't know the brand, we reassure by saying, well, actually famous people are actually using it and you can see us in famous newspaper. And lastly, you get the offer. So this is how I would optimize Supersmile image box. If you got some value out of this video, please subscribe to the channel and watch my next video, 5 on-page zero test ideas to boost your conversion rate. And if you want to have a call with me, you can just click in here. Again, this Figma will be linked in the description. And if you want me to have a look at your website, you can also click in here and fill the form. So thank you for watching and see you in the next one.